You guys like horsepower? You guys like nitrous? You guys like silver Mustangs? Well, now's a chance to make this thing yours. Go to lsnasty.com, and it is double entry day. Yes, I know everyone's going crazy. It's double entry day. It's Friday. You just get your paycheck. Go to lsnasty.com and get entered to win. We have a mystery box. First ever mystery box I ever did. Very excited about it. It's got a badass brand new shirt, never seen before, and some goodies that you can only get in the mystery box. And it's double entry. So before the mystery box was 5 entries, now it's 10 entries. I couldn't make it 11 because I don't have enough fingers to do that. But 10 entries to get the mystery box. It's double entry day, all day until midnight. So if you buy an item like a hat, you get 2 entries instead of 1. You buy the mystery box, you get 10 entries instead of 5. Go to lsnasty.com. We got boxers, we got shirts, we got hats, we got mystery boxes, we got stickers, we got key tags, we got flags, signed posters coming soon, and we got a brand new badass hat. Everyone loves the Slick Rick inspired shirt, so we put that on a hat so you guys can look good from head to toe. And there's a dog in this car. So you guys can win this thing. It is a LS swapped HOLLEY EFI powered TH400 built 8.8 street strip no prep car. We're spraying a 300 shot on there, and it is an absolute beast. It's pretty fun to drive around, and you can take your girlfriend out to go get some ice cream with it, just like I did. Or if you don't have a girlfriend, you can get one with it. So
you can ride around with your dogs.
Or you can ride around with your dog. Go to lsnasty.com, get entered to win. All right, guys, welcome back to another video here. We are with the Black Sheep. We're in the shop. It is Thursday, so we're about to get loaded up and actually head up to VMP for Peso's capital punishment. And we've been making some changes to the car. You guys know we've been fighting it a little bit. And I mentioned in the last video, we just made a change over to QA1 shocks. So that's what's on the car right here. QA1 reached out to us, and we were able to try out their mod shock. So big shout out to everyone over at QA1, and really super appreciative of the opportunity to work with them. I really do enjoy working with companies because I think it's something, you know, for them to reach out to us or to work with and partner with. It means a lot to me. So I know everyone here, we're working really hard. We want to do good. We want to you know, we want to race, we want to go fast, we want to have fun, and I think these shocks are definitely the shit. Sorry, I mean, there's no other way about it. They're the shit. So we got Matt here. Matt's very familiar with these shocks. He runs them on his car, and Turbo John just put a set on his car as well. So these are the mod series shocks. They have a piggyback style canister. Is that right? All my terminology is correct?
Yeah, piggyback, and then they also have a remote reservoir style, like a typical canister with a hose connected to it.
All right, so we'll take a look at these guys here. Very similar to most other shocks. When you get to this level in drag racing, they all look similar. They're going to do different things. I like these because before we had to hang canisters up here, this one, like we just said, they are remote mount right on it. So one thing that you will notice, I'm going to zoom in and just show it because we did scuff these up. These shocks are 9-inch travel shocks. The car was not really set up to run 9-inch travel shocks.
Nah, the wishbone would hit and the drive shaft cross member.
So when we tested yesterday, I just want to make this clear. When we tested yesterday, the only changes that were made was the shock. We had a 1-inch limiter in there, so it was an 8-inch travel shock. Since then, we took that out. So we were working on the car today, made some changes like that, made some anti-roll bar changes in order to allow for another inch of separation, because that's what we're working to do, is we want to be able to maximize that. If it's a 9-inch travel shock, and we can set it up so it's got 1 inch down travel and 8 inches of separation, that'd be ideal.
Yep.
So we're working towards that. We're making changes slowly. So yesterday when we went out and tested, we got some really good data on the shocks. We saw that, you know, the clicks were making a very good change. So as we needed to tighten the shock up, we made the clicks to make it tighter. It reacted just like it was supposed to. So we're really going to be able to get these shocks dialed in. But I do want to say that there really was no difference between this shock and the previous shock that we were running.
Both of them were 8-inch travel.
They're both 8-inch travel. There was no other factors.
But earlier today we disassembled these, so we removed the limiter. So now they're 9-inch travel. So now we should have about 6.5 inches of usable separation.
So when you order these, they won't be scuffed up like that. And we don't recommend taking them apart.
No, they definitely. This is something we kind of had to do it, and normally you want to send it in, but we wanted to make this change because we knew we needed the extra extension, and
we had good tech support.
Yeah, tech support. Tim over at QA1 has been helping us out. Really, all the guys at QA1, they have just been going, you know, above and beyond. Excellent customer service. Really been taking care of us. I've ran these shocks before. I've had great luck at them. The valving is pretty much spot on. You know, they come with shock dyno graphs, so it shows your different valve packs. You know, soft valve pack, standard valve pack. You know, that way you can kind of get an idea of where you're at on your clicks. Each one of these lines represents a click, and here's your shock velocity. Excuse me, I think it's 2 clicks, but here's your shock velocity. So you can see like full tight with a standard valve pack. If the shock's moving at like 12 inches per second, you're going to be, you know, in the 700 pound force resistance. And then as the shock is slowing down, that's what we were talking about yesterday in your velocity. You know, you could hit it right here with, say, this power, and it'd be, you know, 575, and you not change anything on the shock, and you hit it with more power, and you could be back here in the 700 range. So you know, that's one of the things, like, just because you're going up in power or down in power, you might not actually need to make a shock adjustment. That's really why you want to look at your data and preferably have a shock velocity, a way to measure shock velocity,
which we'll be adding to this car.
Yes, so a velocity box from G-Spot Sensor, so he has some really good stuff, so it'll output to the Holley directly, you know, exactly what your shock velocity is. So we can go through and show a little bit how these shocks. They're you know, it's just like a regular shock, nothing too special. The only thing difference is you have your compression and rebound. So
they say on it, don't they? CNR.
Yep, CNR. So you'll do clockwise for tighter, counterclockwise for looser. So that's pretty much the same as everything. And then if you can see in here, there's 2 Allen heads right here, and then 1 right here. This is the low speed bleed adjustment. So this is the high speed. So when you're in the like 6 to 12 to 15 to 20 inches per second range, you're going to be in your high speed. When you start getting down here, it's going to be more of the low speed adjustment. So even though you're adjusting this, it will affect it a little bit here, but these bleed screws will make a larger impact on that. So like whenever you're tuning in a car and it's an autocross car, for example, and you got like a little slow turn or something, you're not really working the shock, you can do your low speed bleed adjustments to tune that. You know, hard stiff bumps, like if you hit a pothole, would be like a square edge bump. That's going to be a lot of shock velocity really quick, so it's going to be your high speed valve. You know, if you're just kind of rolling, that's going to be low speed. In drag racing, you know, when you first initially top the shock out or extend it on the hit, that's going to be high speed, and then as you're going down the track and it's slowly trying to separate, that could get into some of the low speed. It's a little bit of a blend of adjustment, so if you make a low speed change, it will affect the high speed adjustment slightly, but it's not, you know, directly related. So what you want to do on these, the one thing a lot of people mess up with them, and it's very easy to do, I've done it, is these low speed bleed adjusters are very fragile, they're very thin. You have to loosen this right here. It's a little center lock nut. So what you can do, you just loosen it. That's all you got, just a little turn to break it loose. You stick the key in there, and then you can turn it. So when you turn it, that's how it is. These are set, you back them all the way out until it bottoms out, and they're set 2.5 turns in. So like if we get this set up like this, alright, so we'll do, there's 1 turn, 2 turns, half turn. That's about it. So we're going to go back 1, 2.5 turns. So that'll get us back in our range where we're at, because we're 2.5 turns is where they come out of the box until you start really tuning. I would just leave those there unless you really have a handle on where you're at on your shock velocity, because just like anything, you know, more adjustments better, but you can also get into where it's, you know,
too many. You
get down that rabbit hole where you start changing something if you don't know what you're doing. But the guys at QA1, it comes with a big tuning chart, like, hey, if the car does this, or you want to change this, it's very, very easy to make adjustments and figure out what you want to do. So cost-wise, there is not another 4-way adjustable shock on the market that can compete with these cost-wise. Performance-wise, from the shock data that I've seen and seen on other cars, they're very consistent. The valving, you know, it doesn't, before we were either too stiff or too loose where it just topping out. These, you know, nice smooth gradual line. The adjustments, you know, when we made those 6 clicks, that was a large adjustment. So these
saw a big change too.
Yeah, these have 24 clicks on each valve pack.
And the thing that I like is you're at the track, you just got these shocks in the car, you're trying to get them dialed in, you go all the way loose and you still need it looser, you can switch out to a looser valve pack. The valve packs, Matt, what are they, 80 bucks?
Yeah.
$80, you can get another valve pack, and then right there at the track, you go back to the pit, you undo the 5 Allen bolts, take it out, put the new valve pack in there, and you're good to go. So,
all right, so these are the valve packs. They use the same valve pack for compression and rebound. So, you know, even though this says compression on it, it could be used as a rebound valve pack. They sent some extra caps for it so we could change it to where it said R if we wanted to. This is the valve pack, so it's going to turn. You got your clicks here. It's going to change the how much fluid can flow through this and the rate of fluid, or the rate that it can flow through it. This is a 401, so this would be a soft valve pack. We have the 400s, which are the firm valve pack. You can see they correspond with our shock dyno here. So what you're going to do, you're going to full extension, you're going to run it all the way out, and then you're going to take these 5 bolts out. Now you got to kind of like, you got to take these out and you got to rotate it a couple clicks and take that one out, because the adjuster does cover one of the bolts. But once you do that, you slide this out. There's no fluid that comes out, so it's not like, oh, I got to repressurize them or do anything. Like, you don't have to do any of that. You just pull it out. It's got an O-ring seal. You pop this bad boy in there, and your shocks are changed. So if you get a set of shocks and you're like, man, I'm full tight or full loose, and I want to try the other one, or I want to try a different bar angle, and then my shock's going to be right, like, all you got to do is change this. So you just buy the valve packs and you're good. They come with the standard medium valve packs. It's going to work for 90% of the people out there, but if you're like us and we're doing something a little unconventional or trying something different, you know, that's one of the things I always want to try, something new, and this allows you to do it. So
big shout out to QA1. Yeah, we'll put a link to their website if you guys are interested in getting these. They make them in all different sizes. We're getting a set for Chris's vet because he's stock rear suspension right now, and we're gonna get a set for the Bad Apple. So they make them in all different shapes and sizes, length, stroke. So if you're running a stock style suspension application, or you got a 4-link stuff, whether you're running slicks or radials, they really got it all.
Yeah, I think they do 6, 7, and 9. But if you need a weird size, like where we need the 8s, you can give them a call and talk to them, and they can put a limiter inside of it to where they reduce the 9-inch travel to an 8. So they come with the Torrington bearing for the spring, which I failed to put on. Yeah, which, well, we didn't run it, so we're trying to get the absolute maximum amount, because right now these springs they're a little stiff. Like, they're 65-pound springs. We could probably run the 55, because when the car's setting down at full ride height, there's still about 2.5 inches of shaft showing. You can see that the adjuster's all the way up. So we could take the tender coil out, but then the spring's gonna be flopping. So really their only option is to run a softer spring, and then that way you can get your ride height adjusted with your cool spring adjuster up here. But yeah, they just like anything on the channel, you know, they didn't give us the shocks. Yeah, I mean, this is something, you know, they saw. I've talked to QA1 in the past, and you know, they were like, hey, we think we can help you out, and you know, it's kind of a mutual thing. And it's a good product. You know, if we put them on here and they suck, we would tell you, like, hey, these suck, we're gonna try something different.
You're pretty straight up, and that's one thing that I kind of pride myself on, is that
transparency.
I mean, you have to be transparent. A lot of you guys, when you meet me in person, you'll realize exactly how I am now is how I am in person, and that's how I am with how I do everything. So if something's not working, if I don't feel like it's that great, I'll say, hey, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. But from what I've seen for these, I'd recommend. They seem to be pretty good. And one thing that's big on me is customer service and tech support and all that. And for one thing I'm learning is the serviceability of them. If you can service them,
change the valving,
it's a breeze. So I'm very excited about it. QA1, they make a bunch of stuff. So I'm excited to be working with them. I know Matt's excited to be working with them, and I think that we can go really fast with these. So we're working right now on making some adjustments to the chassis. We know where we need to make changes to get even more separation. We're gonna have to make an anti-roll bar change, a little cross member change, and just some work that we can't do right now, but we're kind of taking it step by step. We're making a change at a time, getting it dialed in, then gonna try to go better and better until we're you know, as competitive as can be. So that's what we got going on. We're gonna head to Virginia, do some testing Friday and racing Saturday, and that's the plan. So I think tomorrow you guys got another not tech video, but a shop video. We're gonna go over what we got going on in the shop here, and then after that it'll be a bunch more racing. So a lot of racing going on this year. Big shout out to Matt. Matt's been helping us out a bunch. Big shout out to Kevin Mullins, TCAM Performance, QA1, Strange Engineering, Johnson Lifters, Dieter's Custom Finishing, T&D, Rocker Arms, like all these companies that we work with. I know I missed a bunch. Motion Race Works, Holley EFI, MSD,
M&M Trans.
M&M Transmissions. I mean, all these companies that help us out, that we work with, we're super grateful of them. And honestly, I enjoy racing so much more working with companies than I would if I was just going out here doing it by myself. So thank you to everyone at home supporting, watching, sticking with us. Obviously, you know, there's gonna be ups and downs. You guys saw us, we were struggling there a little bit. We knew what we needed to do. We were doing everything we could to work with what we got. We're getting tools and everything in place so we can do what we need to do to go even faster. So for everyone that was sticking with us, thank you guys for that. For those of you guys that were hating, I guess you're gonna continue to hate, but you could just do it from the
Somebody on their hog.
you could hate from your couch. So we're gonna keep doing our thing. Matt has been putting in a bunch of time here. I've been putting in a bunch of time. Logan, Ben, Wes, everyone. It's really a big. There's so much behind the scenes that you guys don't even understand. So
yeah, you probably see a 10% of what really goes on. It's we put in a lot of work. I mean, we've been working on it all day, changing stuff, cleaning stuff, checking over stuff, working on the toter home trailer.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Cleaning shop. I mean, it's
yeah. Well, we'll see you guys up in Virginia. And hope you guys have a great day. It's double entry day, so go to lsnasty.com, get entered to win a whole ass car. It's got a drive shaft. It's got lug nuts. It's got seats. It's got valve stems. It's got windows, roof, glass, door hinges.
Comes with like a half tank of fuel in it.
Yeah, no, a full tank of fuel. I'll give you a fresh 5-gallon pail of C16 and 2 full nitrous bottles, and you can go out there and have some fun, whoop some ass.
Ass whipping.
So we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.